Let me know if I have this gain turned all the way up or all the way down. Is it blowing out the sound or is it, can you hear it? Okay, because on this Yeti microphone, there is no, there is no indicator as to what is up and to what is down. It's just all around all the time. So, okay, my friends, welcome to the Monday live stream here at the Nate Muri headquarters, which is also the Garden Like a Viking headquarters, which is also so many other things. So, what are we going to talk about today? Let me know where you're at. I keep forgetting to schedule these, ahead of time so that people can like get a notification and stuff. But oh well, I'm just gonna keep showing up and see how it goes. So if you are watching, let me know where you're from, where you're at, and what is on your mind. So one thing that I want to show you guys is a very good thing that you should get into. And this is the practice of chewing the mastic gum. This stuff has been very, very, I'm not really sure what the word is, but I love this stuff. Since I found it about 8 months ago, I read the book Breath by James Nestor. I've recommended it on this channel several times. And it really takes you through the history of the industrialized diet. And previous to the industrialized diet, how so much of our time and our energy was focused on chewing, a lot more than it is now. And this did many, many things. People used to not have crooked teeth. When they look at skulls from the ancient societies and things, they had perfectly straight teeth for the most part. And this is because they chew their food so much. And we see this in the animal world as well, that people or that animals don't have a bunch of crooked teeth that need braces and get cavities all the time and stuff, unless they are under the guidance of human beings eating garbage dog food and cat food and all of that. Then they can have issues. But eating the natural diet, the teeth should be perfectly straight and nice and healthy, the jaw nice and wide, and snoring didn't necessarily exist back in the ancient times because that is a modern phenomenon when the lack of chewing, and I'm paraphrasing all from this book, Breathe, but it makes sense to me because I put it through my own faculties of reason. And so and he shows all kinds of scientific studies and stuff. I have the book downstairs. I should have brought it to show you. But how in just the past couple of 100 years since the industrialized diet, everything is soft and doesn't require as much chewing. And so the nasal cavity has shrunk and the jaw structure has shrunk. They had bigger heads back in the day, bigger jaws. And that is due to the chewing and the lifestyle. And so they didn't snore like we do now. They didn't have to have braces. They didn't have migraines from teeth, and they didn't have to have their wisdom teeth pulled. Doesn't that seem bizarre that you would have to have your wisdom teeth pulled? That's just a normal procedure. Got to make room for that. No. How we obviously have the wisdom teeth for a reason. It's because we lack the tremendous amount of chewing that our ancestors had. And so this kind of gum, because when you chew like that, it opens up the mouth and the jaw and the space for the teeth, and everything can get aligned perfectly. But also, what the book showed, Breath by James Nestor. Also, what the book illustrated was that this is possible to transition these muscles and even the bone structure late into life, at any stage in life. If you're approaching 50, though, you better get on the ball. Because it slows down dramatically after that. But you can still do it. So we're not going to be going and chewing a bunch of tree roots and stuff like that. That's unlikely in our modern time. But what we can do is we can get some of this mastic gum. And I've been chewing this stuff. Oh, man. And and it's like a jaw workout. You know, when you go to the gym, how after you go to the gym, you feel like a pump, how everything feels like, oh man, good. You feel the blood flow and stuff. That's how I feel after chewing this mastic gum for about 30 minutes. And the face is flush and it just feels really good. Like you just had a workout. And so that's fantastic. And another thing about the mastic gum that you guys are going to like is that it is antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, and it never loses its flavor and it never goes bad. You can chew, I know this sounds kind of weird, but just get over it. You can chew the same piece over and over for several days or weeks, and it just gets harder and harder. So it's like really good. It's a resin from a tree. All they do with this stuff is slice the tree and it it weeps like frankincense, and then they just scrape it off the tree. It's on a little island in Greece. Is the only place this stuff grows. And it used to be worth its weight in gold way back in the day for its medicinal properties. But now, of course, we can get it. It's still very expensive, like $16 for this little thing. But you can chew the same pieces over and over. And what it does for the jaw structure just feels wonderful, the breathing and all of that. So just wanted to start by telling you guys all of that because that is like a life hack. So, okay, let's see. Val, good morning, Nate, and happy Monday here from Northern Arizona. Yes, Val, good to see you here, my friend. Hello from Northern Indiana. Ursula says, keep showing up. Yes, that's the ticket. Keep showing up. PA, hello, says, hey, Nate. Hi, Val. Yes, good. 8A, Gardening and Clay. What's up, Nate? What's up, my friend? Good to see you here as well. Hope that Clay is doing well with all the practices you now are doing. Jamie Copeland, hello, my friend. Says, hi, Nate from Athens, Ohio, but out in the Allegheny right now. Okay, hello, my friend. Athens, Ohio. I'm not sure where that is. Is that eastern or western more so? Because we're only about 20 minutes from the Ohio line. Let's see here. Pam, hello, my friend. Says, hello, Nate. Love from South Africa. All right. How's the power outages going there? Manageable? Lori Sparkle says, good morning. Listening as I garden in Northeast Utah. All right. That is the way to go, my friend. Let me know if you have any topic suggestions or questions, because we are just freestyling this whole thing. That is how we like to do it. So that's how we like to live life in general. But 8A says, bought the gum a week or so ago. All right. You bought the Mastic Gum. Nice. I might have put links in some of the videos, I forget, or something, but you can just find it. I mean, this is a good one. They make several of them, but this was the purest and sort of most expensive because you can use the same pieces over and over, and it tastes. Don't think of like gum, where it blasts you with a bunch of artificial flavors and all that stuff. This stuff is more like, well, it's tree resin, so it's more like tree resin, and it tastes a little bit, smells a little bit like cedar wood or pine, has those kind of floral, citrusy sort of things. Not super like in your face though, but still really good. So, okay, let us see here. PA says, I didn't take a nap this afternoon to wake up disoriented like last week. I didn't know if I was coming or going. Yes, a nap can do that sometimes. Or not taking a nap can also do that. Big Brian Content. Hello, sirs. Yes, good morning. Hello, good to see you here. I'm not familiar with your name yet. So Ursula said, snoring would get you eaten. Super vulnerable and worst timing to be making loads of noise and not prepared to defend yourself. Very good analysis, yes. So snoring wouldn't make any sense at all. That is obviously a... and if you've ever heard someone that snores really bad, oh my goodness, you feel bad for them to where they're just... and it's just awful. I mean, it's like a curse to be the one doing it, but also to be on the receiving end of it. Remind me, guys, like I asked in the beginning, is this mic all the way high on gain or is it low on gain? Am I blowing out the mic? Does it sound distorted or anything? Because this mic doesn't have an indicator as to what is the maximum and what is the minimum. You just have to turn it. So let me know. Let us see here. And, oh yeah, it's Memorial Day, isn't it? Shoot. Vera Witch Lady, good to see you here, my friend, says 54 today. Is that the temperature or is that your age? Either is pretty good. So, nonsensical nonsense. Hello from Florida. Hello, my friend. Zahendra Kenwood says hello from Croatia. All right. Let me know if you got any topic ideas. We're going to see what we'll get into here in a moment. Good morning. Joyce Pendleton says, good morning. Happy Memorial Day. First time listening from Mesa, Arizona. All right. I think I've been there a long time ago when I was looking at the cave dwellings. Is that right? Mesa Verde, I think it was. If my memory serves me, it was when I was young. I went with my uncle on a trip and it was really cool. My uncle, Mark. Jamie, southeast. Okay, southeast. Okay, so you're far away. You're as far away from us as you can get. So, okay, that's probably good. Freeberg, good to see you here, my friend. Says, hi, Nate. Garden break. So nice to see you live. Yes, let me know if you have any topic suggestions. And yeah, right now is go time in the garden. So everyone's talking about gardening and stuff, and yeah, it's go time because that's how farming is. It's like there is time when everything has to get in the ground, and then there's some downtime when it's just maintenance before harvest comes and all of that. When I was working in Northern California, that used to be just mind-blowingly intense during those times because it was like now, you know. And let's see, Hendra says, I make venison biltong. It's great for chewing. Venison biltong. What is that exactly? Is that like a jerky? I'll have to look that up. Beach by Repeat says, hey, Nate. Hello, my friend. Tamara says, good afternoon from rainy mountains of Virginia. That sounds lovely. It's raining where you're at right now? That sounds wonderful because we are in another drought already. I just don't, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate because about 3 years ago, we had a really nice growing season where it was raining about once a week, twice a week. I never even had to water really. And it was like that for a couple years in a row. And everything was nice and it just grew very well. But then last year started the drought where we went 8 solid weeks without a single drop of rain. And it was in the 90s. For here, that's hot because it's a humid 90. It's like we can get southern type heat, where it's real hot and humid and suffocating. It's not like Northern California summer heat where it's bone dry, It's very different. But here and then everything wilted and everything caught diseases and it just was not a good year for growing at all because you can try to water, but water's not the same as the rain. And the cloud cover, the plants need cloud cover and all this. Okay. So we're entering that because look, when you look at the forecast, my friends, it is not a pleasant forecast. I mean, for some people that would be pleasant. But here, you see how it's just every single day, sun, full sun, and high 80s and 90s. And this one day of so many % chance of rain, that's a joke. That's going to disappear here in a minute. But yeah, that's not good for growing. So, guys, if you want to check out another really good channel, check out John Jendai. If you got, because he just put out a video about the El Nino and the drought and the heat and the farming and all of that. He has a lot of good things to say. Jonjandai. He's a Thai fella and from Thailand. Used to be a Buddhist monk, but sort of is not now, but still has the monk mentality, of course. And so Big Brian also knows, is that Big Brain? He also knows. Okay, good. Because, he has a lot of good things to say, guys. And they're similar videos to this. Just one guy sitting down, flow of consciousness. He doesn't edit the videos or anything. It's not a bunch of music and flashy and all that stuff. It's just good quality life advice and wisdom from him. So that is, there's a lot of hidden gems there. So check out his channel. And if you do, tell him Garden Like a Viking sent you. Because I would like to get a little bit on his radar maybe and then connect with him and do some kind of collaboration because I really like what he has to say. He's very wise and insightful, and I think a collaboration would be really good. So maybe put the bug in his ear. Yeah. Let's see here. And good afternoon. Okay, Jenna Walsh says, good afternoon, Nate. Your soulful wisdom is good for the soul. All right, my friend. I'm glad you are here. Thank you. And PA says, thanks, Nate, by the way, for your kind words Saturday. I appreciate you as well. Yes, you are very welcome, my friend. I just let it flow from the heart. And let's see here. Val says, the advice given to me about motivation has really helped get it done. Plus, I started drinking a gallon of water a day. What a difference in energy and mood. Man, that right there, that is super gratifying to hear because that's what it's all about. And between those two things, if you just take on the philosophy, well, for one, if you start drinking the gallon of water, you're going to experience so many benefits just from that. Because most people are walking around in a state that is chronically dehydrated and they don't even understand it because we don't eat food anymore as a whole, as a society, that has structured water in it. True structured water is not the kind where you stir with a copper rod 8 times clockwise and then 8 times counterclockwise and now it's structured. That's not structured. Structured water, the plant has to structure it. So I'm talking fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, right? And even blood and things. If you're into meat and stuff like that, that can still be structured. Raw beef liver, raw milks and things like this in the food, okay? But rehydrating the stuff doesn't do it. It doesn't do the same thing unless the spark of life has happened. So if you really want structured water, it has to come from something that is or was living and still has the life force in it. And it can't be cooked to death, and so it has to, even beans, dried beans, like I store over the wintertime and stuff. If you want those to become structured, if you just soak them overnight and then, or you soak them for a few hours and boil them, that's not the structure that we need. We need the life to happen. So we sprout them for about 2 to 3 days, depending on the temperature. We sprout the beans first, and that structures the water with the life force. And that our body really knows how to absorb. The body is built to handle and to thrive off of that kind of water. Fresh oranges, fresh peaches and plums and all the succulent stuff with water, celery, structured water. Also, that's one reason that juices, if you juice like celery, any of the juices, I do a lot of different juices. You get a load of vitamins, minerals in body available form, bioavailable form, meaning the human can absorb it, but also you get the enzymes, the living enzymes, and that is so important because it's the enzymes that help our body to do so many things that it can't completely do itself. And this is why it's important to get living food in you. Also, the water, the structured water, it hydrates better than anything. Just guzzling a gallon of distilled water or RO water is still going to be super beneficial, guys. But if you can get like spring water, is a really good way, and eat more of the freshness in the food, that is going to hydrate you the best of all. But that being said, I don't know what got me off on that. Start with the drinking of the gallon of water, okay? This is going to be very important. Preferably spring water. Real spring water is the best. Well water, depending on the type of well water you have, can be very good as well. Water that was moving can be really well. So if you got like a clean, when I lived in Northern California, I drank straight from the creek, and we had artesian wells as well. But the creeks and the rivers there are still so clean that you can drink right from them. And I did all summer long. I drank right from the creek. But then when the algae started to bloom, I filtered it through like a Berkey filter. That's still really good. Okay, you want that kind of stuff in you. Next, it would be like a good filtered water through a Berkey or something like that. And then RO or distilled water. But they've been really depleted of things. Still going to be super good. And when you do that, when you get properly hydrated, guys, it is, most people are chronically dehydrated. And so the blood is thicker than it has to be. Think of that, like thick kind of, when your mouth is dry, your blood is also thicker than it needs to be. And so the heart has to work harder. Each time it's pumping, it has to work harder. Every single time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thousands of times a day. It has to pump harder than it should if the blood was nice and thin and liquefied and properly hydrated. Also, water allows for the movement of the electromagnetic forces through the neurons in the mind. This is why it's very important as well. Think if it's dehydrated, it's just kind of, the electricity doesn't flow as well. And so this is why it's so important that we remain very well hydrated so that the neurons and the neural activity can happen at lightning speed. And let's see here. Okay. PA says, we had 5 months of drought. Friday, a nice downpour that made the creek run again after 3 weeks having run dry. Gentle rain since. Oh, that's wonderful. So, yes. Well, let me hydrate. So good. Okay. Now, where you're at, PA, is it do you have like a rainy season and a not rainy season? Because that is very different. When I was in Northern California, it rained for 6 months straight. because I was in a redwood grove and it rained and it was foggy. It was beautiful. Everything, the ferns, the redwoods came bursting to life. And all winter long was a wonderful, steady, gentle rain. Very temperate. But then once the rain stopped in about May, then for 6 months straight, it didn't rain even one time. It doesn't rain, period. And this was true for 10 years in a row. I mean, this is how it is there. And and everything turns brown and everything gets really dry. And then once the rains come, it just rains nonstop. So that's a whole different kind of climate. So coastal areas can get that a lot better, a lot better, because the ocean sort of temperates, makes the climate more mellow, as far as more consistent. But once you're way inland, like in Indiana, we get rain and then sometimes drought. But like here, it rains throughout the year. There's not a rainy season and a dry season. There's not any of that. It has rained throughout the year. But the past couple of years, it has just been bone dry and not raining. Actually, just last year in particular. And I can feel it already. It's shaping up to be another one this year. It's already like that. The soil's already super dry. And because here, these plants and all of this stuff, like this, we are not the type where it goes for months on end without raining, you know. Let's see here. Okay, I got some good comments here. Let's see what we're... PA says, stop a partner snoring without waking them up. Give a hug and pull them on their side, then roll away. Less friendly is a gentle pushing from under their shoulder to roll them away from you. Man, that's way more friendly than I would be. Sorry. Yeah. Okie Ranch, hello, my friend, says, hello, everyone. Warm and dry here. So you are in Okie Ranch here in Oklahoma, right? Let's see. Big Brain says he has a couple good... Okay, he's talking about John Jandai, which I recommend that channel to everybody. And he says he has a couple good videos of his, of a biochar water filter setup. Yes, very, very good. He's that natural living, you know, and that's how he's villager, old school villager type living, but for the modern world in a way. So his philosophies and stuff, I highly recommend. After this video, I'm going to link in the description of this video to one of his videos, okay? So go there, check it out. Tell him Garden Like a Viking sent you, because I want to get on the radar. I want to do a collaboration with him, because I feel like that's just what needs to happen. My heart is just telling me you need to collaborate with this guy. So Freebird says, last year was a tough one in Indiana. I worked so hard in the garden. I hope we're not going to have a repeat this year. I watched several of your older garden videos yesterday. Love all your advice. Yes, thank you very much, my friend. You're very, very inspiring to me, and you're very... I appreciate your participation on all these channels. It's very good, because this is like, in a way, my art. You know what I mean? It's just like a form of expressive art for me in many ways. So it's really cool when there's people that are in with that energy. I like that, you know. Mitaka Knox. Hello, my friend. I don't think I've seen you in a long time. Said it's cold and cloudy here in Pomona, California. It's been this way for a week and expected until June 10th. Bah humbug. Oh, what? No, that is not a problem. Where is that in relation to like San Francisco, where you are? Are you in Southern California? Zendra says, yep, it's like jerky, South African. I used to live in Zimbabwe and got the recipe for biltong. Mix some crushed coriander and black pepper seeds, some salt and red wine. After 3 days, dehydrate. Whoa, okay, so you take the meat, you mix some crushed coriander, some black pepper seeds, some salt and red wine. After 3 days of soaking, I take it. So you make all that together, and then you let it marinate for 3 days, and then you dehydrate it. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. I wonder if I could use... What could I use in place of red wine? Would it be like a apple cider vinegar? Maybe that would make it too tangy almost. Maybe a wine vinegar. That might be too tangy. Tamara says that, Nate, it's a cool drizzly soaking type of rain, the right amount that we need. Oh man, that is the best. That is the best. Just where it's overcast and it's just cool and it's raining. The plants love that. Plants love that stuff. Most plants don't really like blazing hot sun all the time, so. Let's see here. Okie Ranch says, I like to gather cleavers from my yard and soak in my Berkey water overnight. Yes, cleavers from my yard. What is that exactly? That sounds interesting. So what are cleavers from the yard? Marcel, what's up, my South African friend? Says, hello, Sensei Nate. Yes, hello. PA says, Vera, glücklich. Vera, yeah. Keep gathering wisdom and laugh wrinkles. Is it German? Glücklich sounds like laugh, right? Isn't that what that is? I used to have a German girlfriend. Well, she was Austrian, but she spoke German. Don't never call her German, though. Marcel, my Chinese cabbage are huge. Oh, yeah, definitely, man. The Chinese cabbage can get nice and big. So what do you like to cook with them? Do you have a certain thing that, because kimchi is really good. Also, chanko nabe, the sumo wrestler stew. You can look that up. Or maybe I'll make a video about it sometime. But super good. And you also want to grow daikon radish with it. And green onions, carrots, the Chinese cabbage. And some mushrooms for the broth. Oh, so good. And let's see here. And it depends. Okay, Chinese cabbage are huge. So PA says, it depends. The weather has never been the same in the 6 years I've lived here. But solar can be between 6 to 10 months without rain. It's semi-arid. Okay. Wow, man. 6 to 10 months without rain. Do not sign me up. That's like when I lived in Greece, man. I lived in a small village called Palaros on the Ionian Sea, and it didn't rain. I mean, it was blazing hot and bone dry for months on end. The whole time I was there, I don't know if it ever rained. But yeah, so summer. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Let's see here. Mataka says Southern California. Okay, totally different climate. And Okie Ranch says yes, East Central Oklahoma. Burger Time, what's up, my friend? Says, can you give the name of the portable sauna you use? I only recently heard that they exist. Also, how do you make it safe if used solo? Okay, so which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the, I have two. So I have one that is wood-fired. And I honestly would not recommend this company. I can't, in good faith, recommend this company to you. Even though that was sort of, I was going to do all of that. But yeah, so they make a lot of, there's a lot of issues right now with the whole, because this is like a new industry. Are you talking about the wood-fired one or the one that's inside? Because I have one that's electric, you just plug in, and it's more like a steam room. And that one was pretty cheap, a few $100. That one is called Nordic Ways. That's the ultimate one. Man, I use this thing all the time, all winter long. I had people coming over doing saunas and ice baths, and it was just wonderful. Breathing exercises and stuff like that. It was great. The sauna is the game changer, guys. I didn't even notice it was wintertime hardly. I didn't even want it to get warm. I was like, oh man, now there's no more ice bath and no more like real sauna outside. It's wonderful. So if you are in a place where there's real winters, then you need to get a sauna. Preferably the wood one, but also the Nordic Ways one is so convenient. So which one were you talking about, though, Burger Time? And then I will go back into it and tell you more about it, okay? And let's see here. Lori Sparkle says, it's very hard to snore with a closed mouth. Tape works. Ooh, yeah. No, I prefer to just make them more miserable and just keep waking them up. Or make them feel really bad and go and sleep in the other room. But just kidding, kind of. Zahendra Kenwood, I have been using quartz crystals, shaking them in glass bottle. Quartz crystals, when rubbed, produce sparks and ionizes it. Okay. I do not have firsthand experience with that. I've not felt the experience of that like I have with the structured water from plants and things like this. I have thoroughly utilizing this instrument that is now very sensitive to the slightest fluctuations in things, then I've been able to tell. that this is a reality. But the quartz crystal I've not tried. So Pam says, yes, I have watched some of John Jandai. Oh, good, good, good. Well, he just made one about the drought, or El Nino. Like, what are we gonna do when we go several years without rain? And he's talking about, and he's in Thailand. Okay, he said when he went to Bangkok for the first time in his life, it was so hot in the middle of the night that he couldn't even sleep. And this is from a true Thai villager, and they know heat and humidity. I've been to Bangkok, and it is, sweltering, unbelievably hot in the summer. But if he's saying it's too hot, then it must just be unbelievable. Now, I'm not a big subscriber to the, I almost don't even want to say the word, the changing of the, the weather patterns and stuff. It's because I don't really know. I don't think that we have records that go back far enough. I think that the climate is always changing, and I think that the weather is always changing, and all of this it's always changing. I don't know for sure either way if it's a human-caused anything or not. But what I do know for absolute certain is that we are poisoning the mother that sustains us. I know that for sure. And that wiping out all of the trees and the destruction of habitat and natural environments, that definitely has an impact on the system, the delicate system that sustains us. And so whether or not the climate is actually, caused by, I don't know any of that. But I know firsthand, I've been all over the world, and I have seen the unimaginable destruction that is taking place of the system, the life support system that sustains us. Wiping out the life support system, the trees and the greenery. And so, of course, when you go into the city or something and it's just got tar all over the place and concrete and everything, it's so hot. And you go right into the forest, it's not nearly as hot. It's because we are wiping out all of the natural systems and putting houses and all this development and stuff, and it's blazing hot. So there's not the heat sinks like there used to be. At any time if you're standing out in the road, it's blazing hot in the city or something, go into the forest, it's nice and cool, always. And this much I know for sure, that wiping out all the trees and the natural habitat of places is already having astronomical consequences, guys. There is a tipping point. When the life support system can no longer sustain us, and it can no longer recycle itself. And it is my opinion and experience that tipping point is actually in the rear view mirror. So it's a terminal diagnosis, but it is what it is. So let's see here. Burger Time says, okay, last question. Any idea who planted the asparagus? No, I want the question about the... okay, I'll read that one in a moment. But I want the question about okay, Nordic Ways. Okay, you want that one. Nordic Ways, yeah, that's the one. You just plug it in, and it's got a little thing, and it boils the water, and it pumps it into the room, and it is incredible, guys. I mean, it's a steam room. I put a couple drops of eucalyptus essential oil in there, or peppermint essential oil. Breathe nice and deep, and you are sweating immediately. Yeah, it's a wonderful experience. And so it's great for detoxification and all sorts of things. So, yeah, I highly recommend that. The other one is the wood-fired one, which is much more in depth. So, yeah. And you were talking about how do you make it safe, and I'm not really sure what you mean by that. So you just the Nordic Ways one has a timer on it. So even if you passed out or something, it would shut off. Just set it for whatever time you want it, and it goes off by itself. Or eventually it just boils all the water out. Now the wood-fired one is different, but if you're just wanting that small one, it's basically one of those like black grow tents, you know what I mean? Like I have in my videos on my gardening channel. So it's basically one of those with a steamer pumped into it, and it gets hot. I mean, it gets in just wonderful. So I highly recommend it to all of you guys. If I can find a link to it, I'll put it in this video description after this. But it was about $300, but it's the best one on the market. And it's well worth it, guys. Well worth it. If you are even contemplating, do I want to get a personal steam room sauna or not? Absolutely do it. that what it does, and that could be a whole different podcast. We'll do that if you want sometime. When it gets more closer to the fall time, we'll start talking a lot more about this, but all of the benefits of the heat shock proteins, and I could go on and on about the benefits of the sauna and the ice bath, but even just the sauna alone. So if you're even contemplating it, get it. The Nordic Ways one is fantastic, and you will experience immediate benefits the very first time you use it. And you'll sleep deeper. It detoxifies the skin and all kinds of good stuff. So Zendra says yes, vinegar, any acid. Okay, so good. So I'll do some apple cider vinegar. I like that tang with the meat. So yeah, I'll do it that way. Burger Time says, last question. Any idea who planted the asparagus at the Indiana Buddhist temple? Most of it is overgrown, but I managed to get 2 bundles and cook them really good. Where's the asparagus? And when I don't think I even knew that there was asparagus there. Yeah, so obviously I don't. Let's see. Vera says it's Flemish, Dutch. Okay, yes. Brian Aries says, hello, all question your plans for your learning space. Will you combine gardening and spiritual classes? Yes, absolutely, because to me they are inseparable. They are absolutely inseparable. There is not spirituality over here, and then growing over here, and then nutrition over here, and then mental fortitude over here. They're all one and the same thing. And so to teach that, it wouldn't be me teaching it. It would be just the energy of the earth. It would be the energy of, it would just be energy flowing. It wouldn't be, you know what I mean? So it is, yes, absolutely. There will be, he's talking about at the school that is coming in the future. And on the ranch, like a homestead, there will be animals, of course. It'll be a fully functioning homestead, but it will be a school to all the things that are on my gardening channel, all the things that are on this channel, and so much more will be combined into a in-person, real-life experience. And we'll have things, we'll have master cleanse seminars, where you can come and do a 10-day master cleanse along with all kinds of, spiritual things. We'll have different meditations. We'll have chantings. We'll have drum circles. We'll have all the things that you need to know in order to raise all your own animals, your own food, all of this. Yes, that will all be taught there in various stages of stuff. So as well as everything that has to do with the soil, the life in the soil, the sustainability of all of that. But also how you are the soil. Literally, your body, your physical body is soil that has been arranged in a certain way and then breathed with the breath of life into it, and then boo, animated with the breath of life. And then you are walking soil right now, animated with life, and then for a time you're going to be animated, and then poof, you go back into the soil. The physical body will go back into the soil again, to be arranged eventually in some other way, who knows what, into a tree or into another person or whatever it is. But everything comes from and returns to the soil. And I'm speaking of the physical world on this planet. And so, yes, it is so important to understand that you are the earth itself. You are not separate from the earth in any way. The earth is you. And so when we start to really feel this through the meditations and through the self-actualization practices, then the conservation or the destruction of habitats and all of that becomes a non-issue, because the earth is you and you would not harm yourself. And so it changes everything. So that's so important to get people to understand that and to feel that, in my opinion. And that is exactly what the school will do. So yeah, I've seen it all in the eye of my mind. It's not like a oh, I can't, this is going to happen and all that, but just I've seen it already. So that is that's what that is. And okay, so let's see, where are we at here? Oh, hello, Trish. Says, hey there, I forgot it was Monday. Yeah, I know. Monday's a little bit of a difficult time sometimes for people to remember. So let's see, where are we at on the, okay. All right, Vera says, see you next time, birthday dinner. All right, my friend, good. Have a happy birthday. Oh, it's your birthday. That's right. Okay, so 54. Good. Happy birthday, my friend. So Maggie says, I'm looking into Electro Culture. Yes, that is actually what the next video on my gardening channel is about, is Electro Culture. My initial opinion on Electro Culture, but more importantly, all of the how to make them yourself, and then the experiments that I'm doing. So by the end of this year, we will know for sure if electroculture works or if it doesn't work, and we will see. So because I am of the mind that if it works, fantastic. But if it doesn't work, then okay, that's we're not out anything. So even though, yeah, I'll just save that for the video. So check out the video on my gardening channel if you want to see that. All right. So Big Brain says we are entering the solar maximum. It's a 6-year cycle, and we are hitting the peak solar activity. So what about all the stuff I heard about the grand solar minimum? Well, you're talking about maximum. Yeah, I had to stop listening to all that stuff. Adapt 2030 and stuff. It's just too, oh man. I listened to it for some time, a couple of years, but then it just became too much repetitive in the oh no, it's what's coming, all this stuff that's about to happen, and all this, oh, it's all about to happen, but then I just got over it, and I started saying, okay, we understand that, but at the same time we are going to become very present, and we're going to not worry about that stuff because we're aware of it, yes, but to keep dwelling on it in a cyclical pattern is very, very unhealthy, and it overshadows the beauty and the lightness of the present moment. It makes things seem so heavy and like the impending doom is coming, but it never actually really comes. It never really comes. And even if it did, it would come as the present moment. And so we are, and in the present moment, we have all of our power. Okay? Think of this, guys. When you worry or something like this, all right, when you worry, you are immediately making yourself, you're giving away your power. You are powerless because worry is about something, a projected concept of what might come, but is not here yet. And so, by very definition, we don't have any power about the future. We can't leave the present moment and go into what we perceive as the future and then do something to then make the present moment more peaceful, or we can't do anything about it. It is locked in the mind only. So we are worrying about something over which we have no power because it is not here yet. So if it was here, then we could take action, and then we have power, and then we can do something about it because action is the key. And so too much of the worrying about things is going to make us feel a very negative type of feeling because we are giving our power away, and it never feels good to be powerless. But if we focus our energies and our life into the present moment, and then everything changes. We have power in the present moment, and only in the present moment do we have power, because only in the present moment can we take action. And so once I made this switch, this psychological switch, things really lightened up in life, and everything just started happening. I started the gardening channel, and that's snowballing, and everything just happens without that, because you're present. And even if the stuff does come, so some people will say, well, yeah, but that's burying your head in the sand. You've got to be aware of what's going on. No, it's the opposite of burying your head in the sand, because you are aware of these things, but you're also aware that the only time that you have power is in the present moment, because it's the only time you can take action. You can't take action in the future, let alone the past. Okay? So the only time that you can take action is the present moment. And so once you start living like that, then you are saying, okay, well, whatever I've been worrying about is I'm only going to experience it as the present moment. The future, of course, and this is for a different topic video, but the future and the past are psychological illusions. They're mirages of the mind. There is only now. And that is the only thing that ever exists, is the now. Your entire life unfolds in one moment, the same moment. Yes. How many moments has there been since I began this podcast? How many moments has there been since you got up this morning? How many moments has there been in your life? One. Because where is the dividing line between what we perceive as one moment and the next moment? There is none. It is always now. So we'll go much deeper into these things later, but I just wanted to say that about the things like Adapt 2030 and a great channel and all of that. Wonderful, you know, if you guys are into that kind of stuff. But this is the streetwise spirituality aspect of it, okay? So this is what I want to sort of, illustrate with you guys is streetwise spirituality. So spirituality in the sense that we are connected by the heart. We have worked on ourselves enough to understand that the heart is the energy that is connected to all things. And so the heart knows. The mind has to think and dissect and all of that kind of stuff and analyze, but the heart knows, and it's connected to the source of all things. And so we recognize that we are all the one. And so we live our life from that. So that's the spirituality aspect of it. But the streetwise part is that we also have our feet firmly planted on the ground, and we see what is happening around us. We see the things that are happening behind the curtains and sort of the forces that may be guiding civilization. And we see all of this stuff, okay? We're not blind to any of it. So that's the streetwise part. You have to understand what is happening around you, you know, and be real about it. But when you combine the two, then you don't have to stress about the things because you know that you are pure light and all that is. And you cannot be enslaved. You cannot be harmed. Nothing. You were never born. You can never die. It's eternal. And when you really get to that point, then the fear and everything like that, it just evaporates. So let's see here. And hello from Colorado. Hello, Tav. And let us see, where am I at on these comments here? Graham, what's up, my friend? Says it definitely works as it uses the energy from the ether. That's how Atlantis worked. Yeah, I think you're talking about Electro Culture. So we will see. We will see. But at the same time, I wonder, so why? Well, for one, the plant itself already does that. The plant itself is already pure Electro Culture antenna. And so then also when I drive through the country and stuff and I see these massive power lines all over the place, why is there nothing growing any different whatsoever anywhere around any of the power lines? And some of the sources, because I've been doing a lot of research into the electroculture so that I can really thoroughly experiment with this. And many of them say just wood. They can be wood or any type of metal. Okay, so why there's fences, there's fences, there's even copper, or brass and fences and yard ornaments and things like this. Why is stuff not just growing out of control by these things? So why? Yeah, it will totally, if it works by making these antennas and sticking them into stuff, it will blow my mind to the point where I should just delete my gardening channel because you don't need anything. You just stick these little copper antennas in the ground and that's all you need. Because I mean, this guy that has this website says you don't need nutrients. You don't even need water. Some water. It says dramatically reduces water needs. And that just doesn't make any sense. Okay. I don't see how that would be possible in any way, but we got to experiment. We got to experiment because if it is true, then it's, we need to totally rewrite all books about the soil food web, and all that stuff becomes totally irrelevant, and so, yeah, we'll see though. But then why would these farmers who will do anything to like I talked about in Northern California on my other thing with the electroculture, there we would have done anything to get even one more pound of yield. And literally anything. And so if that worked, everybody would have been doing it. I guarantee it. But all right. Zendra says, not sure about antennas, but copper coils on the ground stop slugs. Now that I know does have an effect. I have realized that. They don't like to climb over copper. Maggie says, it appears to me that some things like iron and PVC act like resistors, and others like silver or copper or wood act like capacitors. Just need to light up our gardens, so to speak. Okay, well, yeah, if you guys want to send me links to something, I mean, not just anything random, but something that you have, as many of you have done already. Graham has done this good. If you want to send me links to Electro Culture stuff, feel free to, and we will examine that. Okay. Mom Computer, hello, my friend, says, don't waste a worry about something that may never happen. Stay in the now. This is absolutely true, my friends, exactly what I was just talking about. And by staying in the now, it opens up a space in your life. It's creates the ability to have actual change and actual choice and action, because you're not paralyzed by the analysis of the fear. We used to call that analysis paralysis. So many people will just think about some situation and overplay it in the mind and analyze it so many times, and so that they're paralyzed. They paralyze themselves. They never end up doing anything because they're just so concerned about this, or they're flipping back and forth between that. And remember, what do I always say? You become good at whatever you practice. And so if you practice that, just worrying about things and trying to play through 1,000 different situations in your mind, but never really doing anything, then that's what you'll be really good at doing, and it will come second nature to you. But if you practice living in the moment, meaning that we are not caught up in the psychological concept of time, in the past and what might happen, or the past or what has happened, or the future what might happen, but we are focused on the now, then it opens up an entirely different way for us to live. One that you can't even really speak about. You just experience it. It's because it doesn't, yeah, it's beyond concepts, my friend. So let us see. Okay. Graham says, birds sit in trees after flying to Earth themselves. They hid this knowledge after World War II. Well, we'll see. Jenna Walsh says, my heart tells me Electro Culture is silly. Yeah. It tells me that too. I mean, definitely. It tells me that to the point where I almost, I feel silly doing a lot of the things but at the same time, I have to experiment, because so many people have, people whose opinions I respect, have said things and have tried to guide me to say, what about that? And they believe in it as well. So we have to experiment. That's what we're going to do. Let's see. Marcel says, please and dear God, don't ever let Nate stop making videos on your channel. I'll be one very angry human. All right, my friend. Well, I'm not going to stop making the videos, so you can count on that. I don't know if it'll always be on YouTube, hopefully, and stuff, but whatever, I'm definitely a video creator. That is what I am feeling, definitely. It just feels right. Big Brain says, the Electro Culture reminds me of breatharians, to be honest. Absolutely. Yeah. That we don't even eat food. We don't need food. You get nitrogen from the air, and we get everything we need from breath. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. But see, it's where things like Electro Culture and stuff, it's combining, or it can be confusing, because there are things that are real. The energy, the chi, the force, the life force behind all things, the heart energy. This is all the same thing that we're talking about. We could also call it the Holy Spirit in many ways. It's all the same energy that is driving, that is manifesting, right, and that is everywhere, connects all things. And it's the intelligence that underlies everything, in the sense that, and I've said this before, but okay, even this is conscious to a degree, this glass. If the atoms in here did not have some type of intelligence, some type of incredible intelligence, then they would not know how to arrange themselves in such a way as to make this glass, and it would just poof if the intelligence was gone. The one underlying energy, the prana, the chi, the life force. We're calling it all the same thing, the intelligence, the mind of God. We can call it so many things, but it's the same energy. And because science has even uncovered that everything is made of, electrons, neutrons, protons, swirling in at different speeds, at different rates, and different combinations, and all of that. But if all of that didn't arrange in a particular way, then we would have nothing. Everything would just evaporate. So there's an underlying force. I mean, there's proof of it right here in the hand, in the fact, in this wavelengths, all of it. Everything you're seeing right now is proof of all of that. So in a way, everything is it's all the energy, okay? And so the electroculture thing is like taking that. So there are underlying truths to all of it, okay? That's what we're saying, really. Marcel says, experiment all you want, Sensei. Just don't stop making videos. Okay, you have my word. I won't be stopping, my friend. Yeah, Oki Ranch says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Yes, my friends, let's, because it'd be great if we could get some more people in on these, chiming in and participating, because who knows, the more people that are involved, the more topics we can uncover. And then certain things, when I hear certain things from you guys or when certain things come up, then I will research them later, and so that helps me to know deeper and deeper about topics. And so then I'll experiment with them in my life. So it's just really wonderful. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see. Good afternoon. Half bubble off plum. That's a pretty good one right there. Half bubble off plum, we'll call that good enough for most things, huh? Good enough. Let's see. Marcel says, even if electroculture works better, even if electroculture works better, I prefer to grow like our ancestors have. I prefer the old ways over the new ways. I'd rather drive an old car rather than the newest car. I prefer the old ways. Yes, I am of the same way, my friend, because the old ways are tried and true for a very long time. Not so much the old cars, but I get what you're saying. Carolti, hello, my friend, says, yo, forgot it was Monday. Hello, my friend. Yeah, I'm going to start scheduling the lives a little bit sooner so that people can, they'll still be at noon, but I want to schedule them sooner so you get a notification. Nonsensical Nonsense says, study the scientific evidence of how grounding creates antioxidants in the body. Yes, definitely. We'll do that. Have done that. I understand that. Yes. Are you saying that that's the basis for electroculture and why it might work? Trish, I'm curious. How does the vegetation grow around lightning rods? Right. It doesn't grow any better around lightning rods, around phone poles, around power lines, or around anything. It doesn't really affect it, But the antenna, the ultimate antenna, is the plant. This is what I'm getting at. So it's already been perfected. Let's see. Ellen Driscoll says, I've lived through some terrible things in my life. She's quoting, okay? I've lived through some terrible things in life, some of which actually happened. Mark Twain. Hey, very wise man right there. So yes, some of which actually happened. But even when those things do come, remember what we were talking about. Worry is concerning yourself about things that have not happened yet and may never happen. But here's the thing, even if they do happen, they will not be as horrible as the mind is projecting it, because you will have your power, because you can take action in the present moment. That is what it's about. And about taking action, remember guys, done is better than perfect. Remember that. Done is better than perfect. And remember a quote from Bob Proctor that we talked about last week. Bob Proctor, may he rest in peace. To have energy to do the thing, just start doing, start doing the thing to have the energy to do the thing. You understand? Just start doing it. Just get up and start doing it. When the body moves, the brain grooves. Yes? This is very, very true. And so if you're feeling lethargic or you're feeling, all this stuff, all this cyclical thinking and just round and round and round, just stop the thinking by getting up and doing something. Just keep moving, guys. The human is designed to move and to do and to create and to flow like that. And so when we just sit and we're watching TV and the energy becomes stale, stagnant. And what happens to things that are stagnant, like water, for example? If a river gets trapped and stops flowing, it turns rancid. And the energy can be the same way in a human. So that once the energies become stagnant, they can turn rancid. And we don't want that. So we want to move and to be consuming wholesome things, both food for the body, wholesome nutrient-dense things we're growing ourselves, full of life force, but also consuming wholesome thoughts and wholesome information, stuff that is going to enliven us and inspire us. This is so important. And then we get up and we just move, and we do a little bit of a workout, some calisthenics. This is a fantastic thing. Since I, about a year ago, starting the mornings with just 20 minutes of intense calisthenics. I mean, this is the first thing I do before coffee even or anything like that. I'll do 20 to 25 minutes of calisthenics, so I'm pumped, when that's done. And then I will do the breathing exercises for about another 20 minutes. And that first thing in the morning has just been phenomenal, game changing. I mean, I've been doing the breathing exercises for a couple years now, first thing in the morning, but the calisthenics first thing just gives you energy that is out of this world. I mean, it really is, it's fantastic. I can't recommend it highly enough. So, okay, guys, let's see if we have any more burning questions. Let's see. Blue Wolf says, retro causality, is that a topic you are versed in? Retro causality. I will have to see exactly what that is, and we will talk about it next time. I'm sure I can be. If it is, yeah, I will look at that next time. Okay, retro causality. Let's see. Maggie Smith says Electro Culture is from the 1800s. Okay. Let's see here. And old school rules. Yes, it does. Sunbeam Microgreen says, love what you do, brother. Do you include Stoicism principles in your life? Yes, absolutely. It's all combined into one. There's not a, even though, yes, there was a time when I was researching the Marcus Aurelius, the meditations, Stoicism, and very much, man, because I have an intense and extreme personality, and I can become I used to call it an addictive personality, but it's really just an intense personality that when I do something, I do it 100%, 110%. I really go at it full bore to the point where I just focus in on things, So, and it's always been that way, and I used to do that. Like, okay, I was like, with different religions, Buddhism. I mean, I went full force into it, went to the Buddhist countries. And then when I came back here, I was teaching meditation at the Buddhist temple, and then was really all about it. But I've also had times in my life when I was living in North Africa, in Morocco. In 3 months, I was this fishing village, and they got me a copy of the Quran. And I read an English copy of it. It's sitting right over here. And I read the entire Quran cover to cover. And then I was practicing all of this. I was praying with them and everything. I was really fully into it, trying to see, how does this feel? Is this where it's at? Is this what it is? But then I've also read the Bible, King James Bible, and was going down that path for quite some time when I was younger. And I've done all these different things like that to the extreme. And so for that reason, I have found over these years now that the one underlying truth exists within all of them, at the core, and that I can speak all those different languages now because it's I can combine them all, and I can see the truth in all of them. But yet the truth is not any one particular school. So I do not identify as Buddhist or Christian or Hindu. I don't identify as any of that because I'm all of that, if that makes sense. And so Stoicism is the same thing in a similar way. So yeah, we'll talk about that next time. Definitely we can do that. All right. And Clem Fandango, what's up, my friend? Says, Nate, my brother, first time in a while I'm able to make the Monday live stream. Keep up the good work. All right. I hope you were here for all of it, huh? Graham says, all fears comes from fear-based mind control from school, TV, films, etc. Your mind is not always your friend. Yes, my friend, that has been stenciled into people's brain to a degree they don't even possibly comprehend. Oki Ranch says, my massage therapist always told me to quiet my monkey mind during my appointments. Absolutely. Yeah, monkey mind was it's all over the place. Boom, 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 boom. And when you sit down and begin to examine the mind and try to make the mind focus on something that you are controlling, like the breathing, for example, or maybe a mantra, you will see it is all over the place, all over the place. Which we can get into that later, my friends. So, okay, let's see. Was there anything else here? Carolti says, when I put my tomatoes out a month ago, I put a piece of solid copper extending above the ground to the quarter wavelength of our local classic rock station. Okay, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time right here at the same time. We do the live stream on the Garden Like a Viking channel every Saturday at 12 noon. We do here every Monday at 12 noon. So I appreciate you guys' contributions and stuff. If you're watching it after the fact and you have some topic suggestion, you can put it in the comments. Let me know where you're from, what's going on with you, and a comment, like what a topic would be. We can discuss so many different things. This is how I like it, just freestyling like this, because then we can get into some really interesting things, and we don't have to like dwell on just one thing. So that's really great. So I hope that you all have a really good week, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I appreciate all of you.